Hi, I'm Lily, the founder of All Your Heart Company, which is a faith-based clothing company that I'm building from scratch, and God told me to share the whole process. So that's what we're doing. I wanted to make things that I could wear that would reflect exactly how I felt on the inside, in hopes that, it would spark conversations and bring more real conversations between people. And I wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the name. I've been making YouTube videos, vlogging them in depth, but for those of y'all who just are scrolling away, maybe this will stop, maybe it'll be just at the right time. But the reason why it's called All Your Heart Company is a long story, but basically I was trusting the Lord with parts of my heart. I was trusting the Lord with things that, to be honest, I didn't really care about. And because I didn't care much about those certain areas of my life, it was easy to give control because I didn't care, And I had to face the reality one day that I was like, it should be a sacrifice, but it's the best sacrifice you will ever make. It is important that we remind ourselves and our friends and family, people, strangers even, that you have to trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trusting in God, not that it's scary, but it should feel like you are surrendering control. And only once you do that and you fully experience that will you realize that it's actually the most secure you could ever be. But it's scary, and there's a lot of people who've never experienced that. They've never had an experience with God that is not either in pain or in confusion. Or God told me to create a company that could empower people to start conversations. And I've been getting samples as I've been, going through this whole process of starting stuff and designing and making my own stuff. And what's crazy is I have this hat, and I'll post a picture. It's a sample of a hat. It's the classic Proverbs hat. And I was wearing it at the beach, and my friends and I were at the beach all day in Malibu, and we ended up going to this event thing. And at first I was like, oh my gosh, I look so bad. We were at the beach all day. I don't even have a hairbrush. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll just take the hat off and I'll put sunglasses on. It'll be cuter. And then something told me last minute when my friend and I were walking in, no, grab your hat, put it back on. I put my hat back on. And you know what? Sure enough, the second we walk in, my friends and I are walking around, two people come up to me and start talking to me about my hat, and they start telling me about, their relationship with Jesus and how they found him in Malibu, and just all these things where I'm like, you know what? That's the point, is connection and fellowship with each other, and to remind each other to trust in the Lord with all of our heart, because it's very easy to trust with parts, but at the end of the day, it doesn't work like that. It's all in or nothing. You can work your way into it, but there's a tipping point where you have to go all in. And yeah, trust in the Lord with all your heart. So follow along if you want to see more about the process, or want to, watch this journey that God's having me do, because it's definitely not something I chose. I'm a musician. Some of you all may be seeing this video because you listen to my music. And I've been, what's funny is I've been working on designing my merch